Tebbutt for Behind the Gloves. I'm here with Nisse Sauerland at the George Groves Chris Eubank Jr. press conference at the Savoy Hotel in London. Sorry, I have to get that out, it's quite a mouthful.
Yeah.
How are you doing today, Nisse?
Doing very well, thank you very much.
Good. What did you make of the press conference?
No swearing, no cursing, no fights, just a lot of real boxing talk between the people at the top of their games, or in Senior's regard. He's been there, he's seen it, he's done it. I think it was a real honest conversation between two fighters. It reminded me of sort of a gloves are off style dialogue between the two of them, and I can't wait for it.
Now, it struck me, as you say, it was quite an honest feel to the press conference. It struck me as two guys who 100% feel that they're going to win. Is that something that resonated with you? Yeah,
definitely. I think there was, in a weird way, there was some respect there. In a very weird sort of way, they know each other. They know that they're both very good fighters, but they both, in their head, believe that they're going to win. And that always makes for a great ingredients for a great fight. And I can't pick a winner. Like I said before, Senior, who's up there, he can really paint a picture. He was in the boom time of super middleweight boxing in this country, and that's when I guess some of my earliest UK boxing memories were watching Eubank Senior against Ben or Watson or Watson. I've completely gone. Yeah, Watson. Sorry, I'm going completely mad. Collins.
I'm going. Sorry, Steve.
Yeah, sorry, Steve. Like I said, it resonates with that era of boxing. So I think, it's the first mega fight of the year next year. Can't wait.
I mean, how big is this fight? I mean, you're somebody who sees the behind the scenes and obviously the reaction online and social media and whatnot. How big is this fight when you put it into comparison with, say, other fights that have come before it in the tournament?
Well, look, we're building up to a big final, and this is the semi-final, and it's pretty big already. I've worked a lot in the UK, and the turnout of the press here, the interest of the fans, sold out arena already, probably the biggest arena in Europe. I'd say it's pretty huge.
So the quarterfinals, for me as a fan first and foremost, I think the thing that lit the touch paper for the tournament was Eubank Jr.'s performance against Avni Yildirim, and then obviously you followed that with George Groves. How important is that to have that kind of momentum driving forward into a semi-final, building towards a final in a tournament like this?
I think when the whole tournament was conceived, I think the idea was to give it some narrative, to give it a storyline. To build up to a climax, if you like. And I think the performances that Eubank Jr. put on in a crazy night in Stuttgart, chairs flying everywhere, people talking about sleeping with other people's wives, etc., etc., and then obviously the Cox fight at Wembley, which was a great knockout as well. I mean, it basically we're building up to a climax, and I don't want to sort of, pardon the pun, but we don't want to blow our load too early with this one, look, this is a great fight in its own right, but it's great for the tournament, and this is what the tournament is all about.
With this fight being such high profile, do you think that Callum Smith versus Jürgen Brähmer is going under the radar, or potentially will go under the radar somewhat? Is that a positive or a negative for those guys?
Listen, I would say if you told me before the tournament that Callum Smith was fighting Jürgen Brähmer, I would have said, okay, Callum Smith's going to win that. I would say now, that's a good fight, because Jürgen Brähmer's put on a very good performance. Erik Skoglund exposed a few holes in Callum. He'd been out of the ring for a bit, but so had Skoglund. So I think it's a great fight, which shouldn't be going under the radar. But this here, you know, is of course, you know, I don't want to say a bigger fight. Every fight in the tournament's a huge fight, but because you've got that end goal of winning the whole tournament. But yeah, of course, there's all the talk is about this at the moment.
And just finally, Nisse, I don't want to look too far ahead because I'm aware that we have the semi-finals and we have the finals, and we also have the cruiserweight competition, which is flourishing nicely. What plans do you potentially have going forward with introducing other weight classes into the World Boxing Super Series? Because it's been a massively popular theme.
Yeah, of course, that's the plan. You know, a yearly tournament. Weight classes will be released early next year, and that's the plan. That's what we're going with.
Give us a little hint.
Can't at the moment. But you know, there's 17 weight classes these days, you know. I would like to go back to the old days of having eight weight classes, you know, if you ask me, but it's just the way it is. Seniors here now. Oh no.
Okay, well, Nisse Sauerland, thanks very much for speaking to Behind the Gloves. Look forward to catching up with you soon.
Thanks.
Hi fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps, and if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and do so by clicking right here.